Charity is not when you have loads of money and then you decide to give. Charity is when you give whatever you have in and around you. We are corporates, we are researchers, we are inside heads. We have the skills, we have the resources, we have the training. Do we have the heart?
Research Got Talent is a blend of our commercial interests, our day-to-day jobs, and the hopes and the desires, as Pravin's just outlined, to try and help the community and for us to do more, to showcase the power of market research and the insights that we can deliver to a wider community. So we decided to put together in Hong Kong and followed by India in the same year when we talked about this, put together a program where we could design research that would help charities, NGOs, all pro bono, all put together and all run by younger researchers. I think remarkably, we are now up to this year, we have 12 countries involved, which is just phenomenal in terms of how we've grown with this. And most importantly, we were sort of discussing how many charities that we've helped out, and we think it's probably close to 100 charities now, because we have some countries, India and Russia, that are working with multiple charities. Yeah. So it's just phenomenal that we've been able to do this in such a short amount of time.
We invite young ADIA and ESOMAR members to put forward their proposal to identify a charity, to identify a project and put together a full plan of how they could implement that, what innovative techniques they could use, and then really look at the impact that that can have. And then we have a board who judge those, and then the winner in Australia then gets to actually complete that project.
Because it was an amazing experience. Our winners had the opportunity to travel to India and exchange, show their experience in the competition, but also they learned a lot from India and from the Indian competitions.
So in our first year, it was in a charity called the Citizen Foundation, which provides support to underprivileged children, especially women, young girls in Pakistan. So a very small charity, one that would never have been able to do research otherwise. And our two winners, who were at Ipsos at the time, were able to do research that really helped them to improve their donor base and really grow the charity. So a very successful initiative.
One, we have a huge strategic intent to increase the perception of research as a career of choice among young researchers. We know skilling is probably the biggest barrier to our industry growing. So it's really important that we do something for where the young researchers are front and center. And you know, we do maybe 5 events a year, and this is my favorite, right? Because in most of them, when you post on LinkedIn, you have people like me with gray hair, even though they might have a little bit of blue, trying to look younger, but you have these fresh, lovely faces, and you know, it just lights up our entire communication for that time, to have young people really at the heart of it. The other thing that we look at also is to say we have something like 400,000 charities in India. And that's how many people need to be helped. That, you know, even if you're looking at it strategically, we do a fair amount of social research in our regular day jobs, and you know, that's part of the business we do. But there's a lot, I would say that there are a limited set of large organizations who are aware that market research can impact social causes and make a difference on those causes. And with this, you know, it was like the NGOs are talking to each other, saying, you know, how can we come back next year?
This was a new thing, and this was something that hasn't been or hadn't been on the agenda so far, and it made a nice splash, I would say. So it's also a great initiative if you are a representative and you're thinking about, okay, what activities could I do this year? This could be a thing to do, even if, as myself or like myself, you're not actually part of an association. You can be the bridgehead and you can be the organizer.